Good morning. Welcome back to D Scraps E Scraps. I is off camera fighting with the other phone, which just does not want to pick up the live, and I don't understand it for the life of me. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. I don't know. Anyway, that is not my priority this morning. It wants to fight with me, it wants to fight with me. I took down yesterday's video. Oh, wait a minute. Intro, please. Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, scrappers, scrapettes, planet lovers, recyclers, and everybody else. Welcome to D Scraps, E Scraps. What a week it's been. I did take down yesterday's video. I was not happy with the internet surveys video. I was not happy with the internet service. It kept skipping, it kept doubling, was not quality. Plus I really had a hard time with the laptop computer I was working on. If I miss your comments or I miss your insight, you'll have to please accept my apology, because I am having all kinds of trouble with my phone. This second phone doesn't want to pick up my live, and without it I can't see the I can't see your comments. All right, well, I must start by showing you some of what I was up to yesterday, and I did film some of it, but the feed was so bad. So this came out of a Toshiba Pro laptop. Oh, I could only wish. I'm sure it's brass. It's heavy though. I don't know. Wouldn't it be something to find an ounce gold in a laptop computer? I'm sure it's brass. But check out this chip under here. I haven't done anything with this motherboard. I'm considering selling it as a collectible. It's just unbelievable what was in here. And this is out of a laptop, mind you. I've forgotten what the date was on the laptop. I think it could have been 2000. This makes me sick to even consider selling this as a laptop motherboard, for which I'll get squid. I really am thinking about putting this one up as a collectible, a non-working collectible. It's from a Toshiba Pro something or other. But I did want to show you that. That was I mean, those are just awesome boards. My gosh. This came out of, this looks like a Dell motherboard to me. I had a lot of Dells here last night. I got a pinless AMD chip out of it. Got a really nice heatsink. So that was a good board. I'm going to write to my buyer and see if they will consider upgrading any of these. But I might put some of them up as collectibles. I don't know if they work or not. I have no way to test them. There's another one. We got a pin CPU out of here. And another heatsink like the other one. A lot of gold in here. There's gold here. Man, that other board was like, wow. There was, on these older laptops, there was a lot of still trying to see if I can get this darn live stream to kick in. I was able to yesterday, but I'm not able today. Aha. There we go. Okay, now I can talk to you. I guess it just takes a while to catch up. My internet is lousy here. So this is the hard drive caddy. There is gold here. There was, I have one here. They were full of gold. The connecting pins are just full of gold. A lot of, I don't know if you can see it, ton of gold in through here. So those were nice. I just really have to make a decision about these boards. They all came from older vintage laptops, the big thick ones. I mean, Now these are just really high grade boards. I don't know. I've put them aside for consideration. The newer ones, I don't even know if I'm going to bother taking apart. Basically, they come up for about 60 cents a pound or so. Hey Dee Dee, hi Schneider. Sorry about the technical difficulties today. I think what I have to do is when I start the live, I have to wait about a minute or two before I try to get the other phone to join. I don't know. I'm still learning, guys. Another really great board. Now, it's two schools of thought. I can just ask my buyer to upgrade these a little bit because they are so good. Or I could nip some of this off and sell it as a laptop board. Slightly depopulated. I don't want to strip the whole thing off. That would be wrong. But I really don't like to do that. I think I'll just put it in and ask him to upgrade them a little bit because of the quality. He's pretty reasonable, so this is about what I usually expect out of a laptop motherboard. A CPU, pretty good with small chips. I gotta take this off. These can be bought separately. They're wireless cards. Get about 1,000 of them and you'll get a pound. Let's see. Yeah, this is your average laptop board. Excuse me. Again, a lot of gold under here. D versus laptop was yesterday. I finally won. That's an Intel. This is a gold-banded BGA. Gold-cornered BGA. Just really some nice boards that came out of this. And they're heavy. There's some good weight to these. So before I just throw them in a bucket and sell them, I'm going to think about these. This one, not so much on the back, although tons of gold flashing, tons of gold recovery. By the way, guys, if you're doing laptops, make sure there is sometimes a battery on here, as well as the lithium battery. Really, these were, for somebody who's refining gold, boy, those would be Chips Ahoy. Always faded. Wow. Well, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good morning. I'm seeing that the video is doing its loop thing. It's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. I am, hopefully, keeping my fingers crossed, going to try to set up the studio upstairs. That'll be really nice. I'll have like a, not a GoPro, but I have to look into video equipment and see what's going to be better. I'm actually moving my office upstairs. It's warm now. It was so cold this winter. I could not move out of the kitchen. I also have to finish painting. So we'll be moving upstairs to a better location. Did you know that if your nose itches, you're either going to have a fight or kiss a fool? Alright. Kidding. So this is the rest of the Toshiba I was working on. I'll take this out. There's good gold recovery. This is a secondary board. I'll take that out as well. Some nice gold pins. Now these I will take. Why? Because a laptop board doesn't qualify as like a telecom board or something really super high grade. If you're scrapping laptops, I suggest starting with a Dell if you can get your hands on it. They seem to be the easiest to take apart. The compacts were rough. They were really hard. Smells successful. This angers me because I create this boards. So why would it anger you? I don't understand that. I mean, why would it anger you? The computer doesn't work. I'm removing the board. I'm seeing if I can resell it. And I don't understand why that would anger somebody. The computer doesn't work. I'm offering somebody a chance to possibly fix their computer. So, livid cow, I don't understand why that would make you angry. I rescued this from being thrown into the dump and into the transfer station. But if that makes you angry, well, I'm sorry. Allergy season has started. My across the street neighbor has the most beautiful hedges all around her house. There's so much pollen on them, it looks like smoke. I thought they were on fire yesterday, and she said, no, they do that every year. Pollen everywhere. But that's okay. Alright. I might not do this laptop first. I might do something else first, which I had actually planned for today. Hello, DC2, welcome. I'll put that aside for a minute. I actually told you guys yesterday, of course I've deleted the video, that I wanted to show you the power supplies, and I think I'm going to do that first. Laptops take a long time to do. So what I did is I went ahead and took apart a lot of power supplies. They're over here just to my left. And the discussion comes up a lot. Should I depopulate the power supplies? Should I sell them as power supplies without wires? What should I do with my power supplies? Oh, let me help you to decide. Hello, Wanderer. So, this board, this is what you get inside a server power supply. These weigh a ton. This is a lot of rubbish on here, so these sell as a low-grade board if I sell them to my regular buyer. They're not worth shipping because they're only going to pay 20 to 40 cents a pound. It's going to cost you $1 to ship it. So it's not something I would recommend shipping unless you're in a situation where you can fill a Gaylord box and have it shipped free. Yeah, they're worth shipping. But right now, with the price of copper and aluminum doing very well, I certainly am going to attempt to get this copper off of here. Copper. Another sip, quick. I'll get what I can, and then I'll throw the rest in with low-grade boards. I have 3 or 4 big totes full of these boards. I'll take this copper off. I'll try and get this one off, and this aluminum. The thing about these boards, and the reason I didn't just throw it in as a power supply and just sell it that way, is this. You are not going to find these kind of... Hi, Kenneth. You're not going to find these kind of brass and gold pins anymore, guys. This server, I believe, was from... some of them have the dates on them. These are all pre-2000, or pre-2010. You're just not going to find this kind of material, in my opinion, on the newer servers. So this is definitely something I would go after. Flip this over on the back. There's some screws here. You can remove the aluminum if pieces. A lot of them have screws to remove that. But this is what I'm going after. The only way to get it is to take the power supply apart, take the board out, and I'll have to cut this. Do not cut this inside your house. You want to be outside, safety glasses, and a respirator. I kid you not. This stuff is super toxic. These boards, what makes them so valuable is the precious metal content inside. They're full of... hello, sweet. They're full of copper. They're full of gold. They're full of aluminum. All kinds of precious metals. But they're toxic. If you cut this and you inhale this, you are going to get, without a doubt, something called metal toxicity poisoning. Please don't do that. You'll die. I mean, you'll get sick. and they make a mess. They're filthy dirty, so way away from the house. Don't It sounds a little paranoid, but I know what I'm talking about, really. With that, not that I've actually had it, but I did a lot of research on what you should have and what you shouldn't. Okay, I feel better. I've given my safety warning. Now, holding this aluminum onto this board, there are some screws underneath. I just showed you those, but also these. These are MOSFETs, and they are filled with copper. Patrick William has a video up about stripping the plastic off. I think Scrap It All had one. It's very time consuming, but they do have copper. Basically, I have a garbage can full of them downstairs. I'm hoping at some point somebody will buy them as a low-grade copper, like a number 3 copper. They call it light copper. Hi, Keith. Okay, so that's this one. So that came out of a server. There were 2 of them. The backplane board that this plugged into, that was full of gold too. And when you push it in, it goes into a backplane board. Make sure you go after the backplane board where these connect. If this has gold pins, so will that. Alright, that's number 1 on the hit parade. Oh, you can depopulate these all you want, because once it's a low-grade board, 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 it's a low-grade board. It doesn't matter. You're not going to hurt it. It's going to go by weight, not by what's on it. Okay? Alright. Put this guy off to the side. These are heavy. If you're doing servers and you need to move them in and out of your car, try sliding the power supply out. It'll make the server a lot lighter for you to move. Okay, that can go over there. I have extra padding on my table. Like I said, I thought I would work on power supplies. Number 1, because I am trying to I have a load going to cable management today. I hope. It depends on my teaching schedule for this afternoon. I have a music school. This came out of the gaming computer that we took apart 2 or 3 days ago. It was that big black fan that was about the size of a car battery. I don't find it super exciting. There's really not a lot more on here than any other power supply I've seen in a computer. It's a little bit bigger. It's certainly heavy. You can go ahead and take the rest of this wire off. I would try to get this aluminum. It should. Let me flip it over. In this case, it's soldered onto the board, so you might have to get these out of the way and then just wiggle and pry at it, and then you can go ahead and do that. I'll take a file to this. It should be copper. It's probably coated copper. But I want to make sure it's copper before I go through the aggravation of taking it all off. Unfortunately, newer things sometimes are aluminum. So take a file and just scrape. But if they turn out to be copper, yeah, grab them and chuck them in a bucket and just put them aside. These toroids are probably one of the easiest things to scrap for copper. Again, please do this outside if you can. I mean, you should. I'm going to put this inside of my vise. I'll put it, this is the jaws of the vise, right? I'll put it in this way. I'll close the vise. This will crack here, and I'll be able to harvest the copper. There are assorted little tricks for taking this apart while it's still on here and give yourself a little leverage. So this is the power supply from the gaming computer. I'll certainly try and get the wire off if I can. Wire's paying pretty well. A little bit of copper here. This, and this. So that's the gaming computer power supply. Again, I had several people ask me if I would do this, and I was really waiting till I had a few different kind of power supplies to show you. Let's see. This came out of something server. I don't remember what, but it does have these nice beautiful pins. Again, Me, I'm going to just, you won't, there's no way to get this off without taking the metal off of the power supply. Let me show you. See, there's no way to get this off. I've got to take the whole board off, the whole thing apart, and then cut it off the board. I don't know, I don't think this is what that came out of, but because I think it was, maybe it is. Yeah, maybe it came out of one of these. Could have. It looks like it, huh? Yeah. So, this came out of this. These came out of the Cisco 3900 network switches we were working on. Thank you, Snubby Scabber. Good morning to you, too. Scrapper, sorry. Hi, Patrick. I was just thinking about you as I was I took down yesterday's video of me versus the Compaq. I had internet trouble and it just was a lousy video, but yeah. But I was thinking about you. Morning structured. Appreciate that. Well, I couldn't believe yesterday we had 10,000 people on the live yesterday morning. I was just blown away. I think it said that I went on early in the morning. A lot of people getting up, getting ready for work. Me too, having their coffee. I will try to, I'm getting better about saving and recording these, so if you missed the live or you couldn't attend the live, I should have this up for you later. It'll be power supplies and laptops will probably be the title. Alright, so this one, again, there's copper. I don't go after these transformers. You could put them in a bucket and sell them as small copper bearing motors. You can take anything off of here you want, guys. It's not going to matter. This board could be completely depopulated and still get thrown in this low grade board. So that was out of these. I have 40 of them. It's got some weight to it for sure. This transformer makes it heavy. Here's another one over here. Again, when I have some time, I'll take the copper off. I'm surprised there's no aluminum heat sinks on here. Huh. Well, I wish I had one here handy to show you, but boy, the backplane board that these went into, loaded with gold. Loaded with gold. These, I think, are probably from, I tried looking for a date. Definitely pre 2020 though. The units were older. They're not hard to take apart. It's just time consuming, you know. So right now I've got a load ready to go. I'm just going to work on trying to upgrade that load just a bit. Alright. This one came out of a Dell server. This was going to be, again, it was the same thing. I think it came out of one of these. So this is called the Power One. I found these in most of the servers, made in the Dominican Republic. Date code 8/12, 8/12. So that's going to be August of 2012. Wow. A little bit of copper. You can. This is just like a filmy tape. You can. It's to keep the heat down. You can knock these off and put them in with your number 2 with your insulated copper wire. Thank you, Hubert Young. Hello from Mississippi. Hello from Connecticut. So there's that. This is not too hard to take apart. You just need a screwdriver. Get these off. Same. This will come off fairly easily. You can actually probably just break this off here. Again, if you're going to cut, please do it outside, away from your house. Nice aluminum. Look at all that copper. Wow. These, like I said, these toroids are super easy to take apart. Again, do it outside. This is ferrite inside of here. Ferrous oxide, steel. So this is iron in here. It'll make a mess. You get black soot everywhere. Plus, breathing it in is not conducive to good health. Some people will go after these if there's brass inside. I personally don't, just because it's just one more thing I don't need to be doing. I do go after the ones that are in the battery backup where there's like 5 or 6 in a row. Those are loaded with brass. That'll be another video for another time. Yeah, so that'll be a nice board for us. Again, these are all soldered to the board, so this will be cutting and pulling and prying, just like going to the dentist, eh? Put that over there. Now this one came out of a very similar unit. This one you actually don't have to take apart at all if you just want to sell the unit as is. You can do that. You can just sell it as a power supply with no wires. It'll hang over the edge like so. And you'll be able to just cut these gold fingers off outside, please, and put them with your gold fingers, and then decide what you want to do with the power supply later. I find these on the HPs a lot. Okay. This is just a standard power supply. There weren't any gold fingers on it. Again, probably very similar to this without the gold fingers. But if you're pressed for time, just put it in your power supplies with no wires. Okay. This is helpful, I hope. Thanks, Jewel. Trocar Dave, good morning. I have to say, you guys are so full of information. I got some wonderful video comments the other day. Okay, so this is just another one from the probably Dell. And I think this one I saw it dated 2012 on it. So yeah, don't just discard these guys, because there's quite a bit of recovery, and that's what it looks like, not taken apart. I suppose you could try and get in here and cut this off or pry it off. Given that it probably looks like this underneath, you might be able to save yourself a bit of time and just get the thing off. That's possible. You can always try, but again, I wanted to show you what was inside in case you decide you want to go after the copper and the aluminum and everything else. I do know there are other components that people go after on these. Sometimes some people will put these in with aluminum. They're just capacitors. You want to go after the MOSFETs. We talked about those. Copper. Now, I saw somebody's video. I don't know who it was. They said that these have silver in them. You'll have to do your own research and make your own decision. For me, I'm going to grab the brass off this one, and I'm just going to put this in with my low-grade boards, because that's where my time factor is. Otherwise I'm going to be, I've been sleeping on top of pallets of e-scrap. Hello, Fire Sparks, forgive me. Thank you for the like, I appreciate that. You're at 1.9K, wow guys. I think this morning stream might be a really good idea. I don't know. Still thinking about it. I try to make sure I don't trespass on somebody else's time, because that's not nice. Alright. So those are the power supplies. I'm going to go back at these computers. I did find the Dells were much easier to take apart. Those compacts were not intended to be taken apart. So get the screws off the bottom. I do have a battery operated screwdriver on order. My problem is it's very noisy. And because it's noisy, I can't speak over it, and that affects my life. So just got the screw out with the hard drive magnet. There's a lot of screws on these things, guys, and you really got to make sure you get them all off. I couldn't believe some of the stuff I saw come off those boards yesterday. I just was like, wow. For those of you who are just joining, I will try to put the video up so you can refer to the beginning of it later. I did show all of the assorted laptop boards we got off these old school vintage laptops. By the way, guys, first thing you want to do is get the lithium-ion battery out of here and put that someplace where it can't cause you any harm. Those I take out of here on a daily basis. I don't like them. I don't have scooters. I don't have hoverboards. Of course, I'd probably break my neck if I did, huh? Alright, this is already coming apart pretty well. I'm a fairly patient person, but I've been known to just Godzilla them apart. Godzilla scrapper. I'm going to turn it over onto the back here. There's a couple of screws here. I think if you work around this hinge area, it helps. And you will have to take these hex nuts off to get the board free of the frame. Take the glasses off so I can see what I'm doing here. It looks like the sun is going to come out today. Oh my god, I got so soaked the day before yesterday. I think I'm still drying clothes out. We needed the rain, but boy oh boy, I was ready to go out and build an ark. It was pouring up. Good morning, John. Good morning, Dick. The oldest battery packs are just a bunch of 1850 batteries in series. They come in handy for lots. Again, for me though, I just, that is not an area that's not something I recycle. Some people actually do take them apart and recycle. Cable management up where I take a lot of my e-waste in Meriden, they have a machine that they used to strip all of that stuff down with. Alright. Now I've got a flat head here. You're just gonna go at it and just start unscrewing stuff, guys. Again, eventually it'll come apart. And like I said, if all those fails, just break it. I'd rather not break it because just to prove I can. Yeah, I took this one apart without Godzilla-ing it. The Dells were pretty straightforward to take apart. They weren't bad. They weren't bad at all. This is an Inspirion. I should be able to get this off. I think there might be a screw here I might have missed. Yep. You start pulling, you'll see. See, I can see I missed this screw here. Aren't you proud of me? Isn't this better than me smashing the molten pits all over my kitchen floor? There we go. Oops. It's kind of hard. They're black screws on a black computer. It took me a lot less than yesterday. I'm kind of glad I deleted yesterday's video. Okay. These, you can throw in with your media players, CD-ROM drives, things like that. And this board isn't going to disappoint either. Again, you'll get a nice bit of copper. Get some aluminum and some other things. Let's see if I can get this screen out of my way. Remember, guys, please dispose of the screens safely. For me, this is the quickest and easiest way to get rid of this thing. There are more screws up here that And you guys don't need to sit here watching me unscrew thousands of screws, huh? But just to show you, it can be done. Alright, get that out of the way. I do make a daily trip to the transfer station just to get rid of all the e-scrap that I can. Alright, let's see what we get. It wasn't too bad, huh? If you missed yesterday's video, it's gone. I deleted it. It was embarrassing. The newer laptops, you'll have to determine for yourself. I have quite a few of them outside. The next generation after these should still be decent. The more recent ones, the tablets, forget it. There's nothing in them. You'll get a little integrated motherboard. That's not worth the hassle. You're better off selling by the pound, guys. 60 cents a pound. Get your money out of it that way. I don't think they're worth it. The Chromebooks are not worth it. They're not worth it to scrap. They're worth it to recycle and sell as an entire unit. But I would not waste my time scrapping those. I have wasted my time scrapping those, so I know what I'm talking about. But, there's some things you're just better off just bringing to the recycler and getting the money you can. I'm gonna probably wind up busting this little corner off. This one little screw is stripped. I prefer not to do that because if I can sell the board, I'd rather, but sometimes it's just not feasible. Alright. Let's go after the goodies, huh? This one doesn't have a lot in it, guys. Some of these were two-tiered. They had a lot more. I'm usually looking for a date. I'm always looking for a date. I'll be here all week. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Richard. I apologize. I do know I should be wearing gloves. Absolutely. Thank you. Yes, I do know. Thank you, Ed Coleman. Nice to see you. User just came in. I don't know who it was. Sorry. Ham steak. I've got a stack of those old dolls in my office right now. Well, you can either recycle them whole, check what your local yard is going to pay, or you can, for this, just for the copper is worth it right now, guys. In my opinion, there's a lot of people who are buying e-waste. I have never actually seen people competing for e-waste like they are. There's all kinds of commercials. Boy, that's clean. So here, I'll heat this, and again, this is something I will do outside. I'll heat this here, and I'll heat this here. I'll pull this off, and I'll push that off. I'm going to go after the copper that I can easily retrieve. If I can get the clean piece of cast, great. I've got 3 bins going downstairs. One is for these, for me to process further. The other is the clean aluminum ones. Those I tend to fill up a bin and sell right away because clean aluminum is selling very well. So what Non-Ferrous Jeff said, by the way, this has a date of August 3rd, 2004. Wow. I just graduated college. Holy cow. No, that's not true. I take that back. I'm older than that. Wow. This is older than my nieces and nephews. Oh, God. What does that make me older then, huh? Good morning, Ed. Yeah, exactly. It's not, that's exactly it. As a matter of fact, Ham Steak, if you go online and you look for gold recovery from computers, people are going bananas over it. And this is, I go through this, should I save them? Should I sell them? My problem is space. I just don't know. many years ago, well, not that many, about 5 or 6 years ago when COVID hit. That's when I got into doing this because I had to figure out some way to work from home. I have a music studio. And that's how I started doing this. I don't even know. I had a couple of computers. I took them apart. And I started selling boards. And next thing I knew, there were more and more and more people were asking me to dispose of their computers for them. And I happily did it because I could work from home. And, keep my music studio open in spite of COVID. So, as the stock market changed and the commodities markets changed, I saw, the price of gold went over $2,000. Now it's over $3,000. And then companies like Nvidia and AMD, Taiwan Semiconductor, all the chip companies started talking about this AI revolution. As you know, I do watch the stock market, and I just watched the price of these precious metals go up and up and up, and I'm thinking to myself, well, if this AI revolution is everything they say it's going to be, where are they going to get the precious metals? There's not enough to power all this stuff. And I said to myself, they're going to have to recycle computers. And that's what I firmly believe is happening now. I'm starting to see it. I have seen, there's more competition in the e-scrap field than I've ever seen before. Matter of fact, Hamsteak, you might want to just put them up for auction. Yeah, you're not kidding. You're not kidding. Going to need trillions of tons of copper. You're right. Copper and aluminum can be recycled. I don't know. I think I'm gonna save as much of it as I can. Hold on 30 seconds. Let me show you what I've got put aside. Hold on a second. I do want to show you this. I might have already put it downstairs. I've got pure copper heat sinks, and I kid you not, they came out of some of the servers. They're this big. So, there's a lot of copper out there. That's why I wanted to show you these power supplies for the copper recovery. That was really my goal with all of this. Hello, Coda Bear. Hello, Joey Ray. So, if I had the room, now the good copper, I'm going to hold on to at least a couple of buckets of it. Why not? I've got a couple of tubs where I've been doing not gold refining, but I'm starting to save gold fingers. I never used to do it, now I do. It's just, that's the only place it's going to come from. And now, with all these trade wars going on, I don't want to go there with politics. It's not my ballywick. I've already seen the price of steel start to come up. And again, I'm not a full-time scrapper, guys. This is just something I started as a hobby. And now I have a TikTok and a YouTube channel. I helped the local scrapyard start their e-scrap business. Taught them how to do it. Asked them about it. I said, you got a whole extra warehouse here. Have you ever considered doing e-scrap? And, I shared with him what I thought about the commodities market and the stock market. And he did indeed open an e-scrap business, and he's doing very well with it. Without me, unfortunately, but that's okay. Alright, let's get this board out, huh? Yes, thank you, Hamsack. I am doing that. I do run a band instrument rental service, so I'm on the approved vendor list for the school anyway. Oh, something else, and double check me on this. I was watching E-Waste Ben the other day, and he mentioned that Microsoft is ending the Windows series, which means a lot of computers that have Windows 10 will no longer have support for Windows 10. And that could mean a lot of Windows 10 PCs. If they're small form, you're not going to get a lot out of them. You'll get the board and maybe a couple of RAM sticks and things, but there's going to be a lot of them. And it is getting harder and harder to find PCs. Trust me on that. That's why I said I'm glad I don't depend on this for my living, because there's not going to be a living much longer. Not for me personally, but I mean, there's going to be so much competition. Even electronics, guys. Boy, you put a microwave out on the curb, it'll be gone 5 minutes later. Air conditioning, boom, 5 minutes later. Air conditionings I take to the transfer station because, you know, they have a lot of Freon and stuff in them. So, let me just show you some areas. Now, I don't have a problem with slightly, and I use the word slightly, depopulating this board. If I'm only going to get laptop value for it, then I'm going to take a few goodies for myself. I usually don't. You guys know that if you've been following me, I do not depopulate things out of general practice. But this is, that's just, I think it's just steel. You go into shred. I'll take these. Right? I'll look and see what's under here. This has screw tabs. If this was just a solid square, I'd be extra careful removing it. If you pull the chip out, you're going to get your board downgraded. So if it doesn't come off easily, don't. The chip in here is an Intel 92. That is going to be a pinless chip. Wow. Look at these chips. Holy cow. I'll tell you, some of these good boards I think I'm just going to put aside. I really do. Wow. Careful prying these out. This should be a pinned CPU. You know, the argument will come, why don't you resell those, put them up for sale, because I don't know if it works. I got these in a lot of 60 laptops that somebody was disposing of. Yeah, I don't think so. No, I did try some of these to see if they would fire up or at least boot to the home screen, and most of them did not, so gosh knows what happened to them, what they've been through. So I'm going to handle this with a little bit of extra care, just in case it's something worth collecting, I don't know. I've got a really cool shadow box full of all kinds of old vintage chips. I'll do a video on that one day soon. Intel 02. It's got assorted serial numbers and things like that on it. I'm going to put it down this way. You know, as I said, there's a lot of things I do put up for sale. This is an old AMD chip. This one, unfortunately, was damaged. I don't know if you can see it, but look at the gold of these things. This one I was really upset. I broke it because the heatsink was stuck to it. Look at that. That's gold, guys. That's a gold top chip. So, there's a lot of, I mean, these are just laptops, mind you. So, anyway, I digress. Going live is hard. It's hard to take apart a computer and talk and answer questions. Yes, I think you're right, Hamsteak. You're making me hungry. It's one of my favorite breakfasts. Nice ham steak and a little bit of eggs. Okay. And look at this. Look at that chip. A lot of people will take these and save these. You know, I'm a little on the fence about a lot of that right now. I don't know, so I don't want to give you advice because I'm not sure myself what I'm going to do with these. It's not a matter of uncertainty, it's a matter of, with all the conditions that are changing as fast as they are, you know, I don't know that I'm in a hurry to sell this stuff right now. I'm not in a position that I have to, so maybe it's worth waiting, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. Alright. There we go. I got a couple of small sticks of RAM. They can go in with your gold-fingered RAM. I'll take the wireless card out. Now on this, I will take this. I'll nip those. I will take these. These are, I'm not sure if this is gold or brass, but I'll take those off. Those I'll keep. I'll get the hard drive caddy out. There's a lot of gold right in here on these older computers, loaded. And, there's no need to give that to my buyer. I should just, they want that bracket off anyway. And like I said, I'm going to stockpile some of these really good boards and see what happens. It's like I know I can always sell them if I need to, My music school does okay. The rental business does pretty good. Busy day. Yeah, I'm going to try to do these breakfast time lives. I think this might be a really good idea for me personally. I get up, I can get my live done, and then I can go about my day. I can't do my school runs till after the buses are passed, and that's around 9 o'clock here. I'm in Connecticut, we're on the East Coast. And, I will load the video for you, so if you missed the first part, you certainly could go back for it. We'll give it a go. Give her a go. I do try to avoid times when I know other people live stream. Like, I know Shark Scrapper and Scrapping Irish both live stream on Sunday afternoons, so I stay away from Sunday afternoons out of courtesy to them. They're both really good guys, by the way. Excellent channels. So shout out to Shark Scrapper and a shout out to Scrapping Irish, and also Patrick Williams. But yeah, they do live streams on Sunday afternoons, so you don't step on other guys' toes, especially when they're part of the reason you're where you are because they've helped you, right? They're all retired. They don't like to get up this early. All right, so this is the Dell laptop board. Again, I got a nice pinned CPU here. I don't know if you can see it. There's a lot of gold in here, so I'm going to definitely keep that. I've got some gold pins and things that I've started to hoard. All right. Well, Gold Corner BJ is looking good. Hi, Hobie Kenobi. How are you? Doesn't it? I mean, look at that thing, man. If I find they're only going to give me a laptop for this, I might seriously consider keeping that. But I don't know. Right now, I'm torn between my morals and the economy. My morals will win. They always do. All right. What else could I possibly show you this morning that I haven't already? I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to head for a second cup of coffee and probably a third and a fourth. Today I'll be heading, fingers crossed, I do have to teach this afternoon, but I've got a lot of these that I've already depopulated. The ones I haven't depopulated I'll leave behind, but I think I'm going to sell all of the power supplies that I can just to, well, I need the room, I need the space. That also dictates what I scrap and what I don't. You can shop around. I mean, there's always boards, right? They're really reliable. My understanding is there is a new company, and forgive me, I believe it begins with a T, and it's opening in Texas. They were based in New Zealand and then Australia, and they are opening a refinery in Texas. I know Shark Scrapper was talking about shipping stuff there by the pallet, that they're buying stuff from him already to get their new refinery up and running. So maybe I'll wait a little bit. I don't know. I don't have to sell it, but it just seems. I mean, they do pay a good price. In Board First Defense, they pay better than anybody else. So, jipping board sort is not cool. Jipping anybody is not cool. But if I'm only going to get laptop board price for this, I probably would really think about not selling it and just depopulating it, and then just throw it in with low grade boards. That's another option, guys, too, and I don't think I mentioned that. These boards, you can depopulate them, but then don't sell it as a laptop board because you did depopulate it, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to keep these things, then just toss the rest into low-grade boards, be done with it. That's an okay thing to do, too. I actually have done that on some of the older computers, like the old Apples and stuff. The boards that don't work, they have burn spots in them that can't be resold. I've done that. I've totally depopulated those and then just sold it as a low-grade board. I kept all the goodies for myself. Selfish little wench. Right. I guess that's going to be it for today's video. I wish I had more things to illuminate you with. This I'll take. I'll take before I forget. I'll be curious to see if this refinery in Texas will buy from the public. My biggest expense with this is, well, there's two expenses, shipping and storage. I've just about gotten out of the storage bin, and I'm hoping I can get rid of that. It's just an extra expense I really don't need. But the summer is going to bring a lot of computers, so I don't know. I'll probably get a shed. It's more cost effective. I'm going to take these guys off before I forget. That's brass, by the way. They're not. I don't think they're gold. I think they're brass. And this, I'm not going to hurt anybody by taking these. I'm not going to. It's not like I'm taking the chips off the board. This is just, I've got to get a little bit of value for myself. Let's see if I can get this guy off here. Good morning, Dirty Red. How are you? Ta-da! Those are all gold pins, guys. Wow. My precious! My precious! Obviously, those are not going to my buyer. Sometimes these risers are brass. This one's stainless, I can tell by looking at it. But, yeah. I nip things I take without too much guilt. Or things like tantalum capacitors, I'll nip one or two off. You know, not a lot. Oh, here's another really cool chip I got yesterday. I had it aside. That is a Intel 2000. And again, I'm treating these with a little extra care to see if they might be something somebody wishes to purchase for either replacement, like your entire collection of family photos is on your laptop or something like that. So that's really quite the haul there, guys and gals. Really an amazing haul on those laptops. I really can't believe all the goodness that was in there. All right, now I am going to sign off. I would like to wish each and every one of you a blessed and wonderful day. May God bless all of your endeavors and mine as well. Stay safe, stay warm, stay happy, stay informed. There's a lot of good information not only on my channel but others. If you're new to scrapping, do your research. There are a lot of opinions out there, and it's how I learned. And I hope this information is helpful to you and you're deciding whether to keep it or sell it, or how to take it apart, or is it worth me paying for? Just with that in mind, don't pay for your e-scrap if you can help it. I mean, if you're buying a pallet or something, yes, but do make sure you know what's inside before you purchase any kind of electronics item. I do have most of my teardowns itemized on my YouTube channel, and I'm working on getting those here. You know, you want to know what's in a server, you want to know what's in a computer, you want to know what's in a smaller form computer. Know before you buy, because you really can, you can short yourself, not, you know, because anybody's doing anything wrong, just because there was no value in the unit. Don't buy tablets, don't buy Chromebooks to scrap, they're not worth it. And the newer laptops, I will hold my opinion on that. I have, as I said, I do have another whole stack of older laptops, but they're newer, older laptops. Like probably, if these are from 2000, those are probably from like 2010. They're the big chunky guys, and there's some weight to those. Those I'll show in another video, and yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that. Wicked awesome video. I really appreciate that. You guys are so good to me. Thanks, Ed. Have a great day yourself. Thanks for liking the live. And, wow, 6.6K. You guys are too much. You just absolutely overwhelm me with your support. I promise I'll try to do better. I'll try to improve as well. And in the meantime, stay wonderful. Second cup of coffee time for old Scrappy D here. 6.6K this morning. Thanks, guys. You're awesome. You're keeping me humble. Bye-bye.